Speaking a few days ago, Donald Trump warned a big surprise is in store for Democrats. In fact, he says that many of these blue states may disappear from the map. A truly sinister notion from a fascist president. Okay, I'm going to calm down. I got the video for you. And I think Trump was largely referring to voting patterns. He was basically saying that with the popular mandate, with his approval rating the way it's going, and the way they're engaged in, well, let's just say the firing of federal workers, the issues pertaining to bloat and overspending, this is going to have a significant impact on how these elections are actually able to function. Democrats are taking this to say that Trump is basically trying to gut the electoral system and make it impossible for them to win. And that's not completely incorrect. There's two ways to view it. And I know everyone's going to get mad, but let me just say this to piss off the liberals while I'm here. If I break down the gist as it's viewed by the left and the right gets it. They don't care. They say, yeah, that's what liberals think. If I explain to a liberal what the right's perspective is, they lose their minds. Sorry, guys. That's just the way it seems to work. Donald Trump is basically saying, look, the way things are going, you're not going to see blue states. Not that he's going to destroy them or march in and take over their governments or anything like that. He's saying they're not going to vote Democrat anymore. And I agree with him largely. But we are seeing a resurgence of, let's just call it podcasts on the left. They're doing very, very well. As the corporate press dies out, people are flocking to liberal podcasts. They're doing better. I said it would happen. Let me play the clip for you in question of Donald Trump saying blue states may disappear.
With the help of everyone here tonight, the golden age of America has officially begun. And the golden age of just this whole thing, the red states, it's going to be leading the way to making our country richer and safer and stronger than ever before. The red states are going to do good. And the blue states, I don't know, maybe they'll totally disappear off that map.
Maybe they will totally disappear off that map. Now, you know what's fascinating? The challenge in making any kind of clickbait YouTube video is that it only works on people who aren't that bright. And people who've been paying attention to Trump and know what he means and what he's talking about, and you're following the news, they're not moved by this story. Hence, it's been a few days, and we didn't actually cover it. We mentioned it on Timcast IRL. I didn't think it mattered all that much. In the greater context of where we're headed, I don't see it being the biggest issue that Trump made this comment. But of course, it is massively explosive in liberal media, where they're claiming that this is Trump revealing his deeply sinister plan. He's going to take away your right to vote. There will be no elections. It's not true. But I will say this. I've referred to what we're seeing with Trump and Elon as Donald Trump's march to the sea. That is, he is going scorched earth on the resources, the financial apparatus of the bureaucratic state. This is not just Democrats. It's Democrats and Republicans. With the gutting of USAID, with Elon's Doge, he's basically saying, figure out where all this money is going, because it's often being routed to individuals who don't work and want to prop up a corrupt system that keeps the money flowing. That is, people who don't work getting free stuff. The fascinating thing is with Elon Musk's whole email thing, where he's like, email us, tell us what you're going to do, or tell us what you've been doing the past week or so, 5 bullet points. They're apoplectic. Democrats and the media, they're acting like it's the apocalypse to just be like, what are you doing? What are you working on? The crazy thing is, if you took Elon out of the equation and Trump and simply just said, hey, can you guys let me know what you were working on this week? There's no question. Look, I got to be honest. If I went to a random McDonald's and said to somebody working there, so what have you guys been working on this week? They'd be like, what do you mean? Like, well, what do you guys do here at McDonald's? They'd be like, we've largely just been making people's orders, I guess, like the fries come in and the meat comes in and then we make the food. I'm like, oh, okay. Literally no one cares if you ask someone what they've been working on this week. Coworkers ask it of each other, but they're acting like it's the apocalypse. So here Trump says this, blue states will be totally disappeared from the map. And I see all these liberals, they're losing their minds because they want to be. Look, man, Donald Trump going after government bloat, Elon Musk saying, what did you do? It's mundane. I mean, for the first time, someone's like, we're going to fire people and figure out where we're wasting money. They're acting mad because they have nothing else to be upset about. You want to complain about Ukraine, Russia, Israel? You want to tell me you think that Trump is kowtowing to Putin or whatever? I'll say, okay, let's have a conversation about the war. And you come to me and then say Trump's off-the-cuff comments of the apocalypse. I'm like, now you're clickbaiting. Here's a story from the Daily Mail. President Trump said there's a big, big surprise in store for Democrats in the next year's midterm election. As he warned blue states will totally disappear off the map, he said maybe they will. Trump disregarded the age-old political theory that the incumbent president's political party loses seats in Congress in the midterm elections. That's a tendency. I wouldn't call it a theory. It's a fact that it tends to happen. He expressed confidence on Thursday night that his Republican Party would prevail in the 2026 elections, keeping its total control of the federal government. I think the midterms are going to be a big, big surprise, he told the Republican Governors Association. You go back to that last, I think, 8 elections in a row. The midterms haven't been great for the person that wins the presidency, and I think so far we're very popular. He pointed out that he has $608 million in his war chest and will be spending it on my friends. And he had a warning for the blue states that go for Democrats. The red states are going to do good. And the blue states, I don't know, maybe they'll totally disappear off the map. A CBS News poll this last week found voters are giving Trump high marks for his first month in office. They described the president as tough, energetic, focused, and effective. And the poll found hit a net positive marks for Americans overall. You know, it's just so remarkably mundane. Donald Trump says, I think we're doing a pretty good job and people are going to vote for us. So Democrats are going to lose. And then all these liberals are like, Trump's threatening to take over the country. I know what I really love. There's this meme going around where it's like, Donald Trump is taking over the executive branch of the government. My Lord, what kind of person would have granted the power to this individual in, say, an electoral process? Oh no, the man elected to oversee the executive branch is trying to oversee it. Heavens me. A CBS News poll last week found voters are giving Trump high marks. They described him as tough, energetic, focused, and effective. In more good news for Republicans, the election handicapper Cook Political Report found the GOP has the advantage to keep control of the Senate in next year's election. Republicans hold a 53-47 majority in the upper chamber. For Democrats to win back a majority, the party would need to net 4 seats. Things are tougher in the House, where Republicans have a scant 3-seat majority. But House Republicans are working on a plan to keep control of that chamber, which includes mobilizing Trump voters. Quote, Trump, he's still here. Rep. Richard Hudson, who chairs the National Republican Congressional Committee, told the Daily Beast. He's still the incumbent president. He still can do rallies and be in mail pieces, and so he's an incredible partner for us. Indeed. Trump, who constitutionally can't run for a third term as president, has still been stockpiling election cash. He can use that money to aid political allies, punish opponents, and help Republicans keep full control of Congress in 2026. We've made a lot of progress, Trump told the governors on Thursday, which marked the 1-month anniversary of his second term. We're giving credit for having the best 4 weeks that anybody's ever had as an opening. So now a few more weeks like this and we're going to be in great shape. Trump has moved rapidly to remake the federal government. He's slashed diversity, equity. We get it. People, let me tell you what Trump is working on. I believe that his intention largely will be to some effect to wipe, to disappear, to destroy the blue states. What we're seeing with the gutting of USAID is federal funds that were funneled to the Loudoun County largely, but the surrounding areas of D.C. where nonprofits and legal firms operated, getting large sums of cash for inane and insane projects, to which that money would then funnel to individuals and funnel back to the Democratic Party. Often these NGOs could give money to other NGOs who are legally allowed to make political contributions or to promote certain politicians. I worked in the nonprofit industry, so I know how this works. You have a lot of individuals who will, organizations will go out and they'll say, can you donate money to us? We're, saving the whales. And then you'll be like, I'd like to save the whales. Here's money. These organizations are 501c4 organizations, meaning they're allowed to politic. And they say this, sorry, it's not tax deductible because we do engage in politics. We have to. The money you give to save the whales goes to a Democrat politician that they are propping up. These nonprofits can also receive grant money from the government. Donald Trump's actions are to cut the resources off. That creates this circuitous path by which the government funds NGOs and law firms, and that money funnels through a bunch of other NGOs and back into the pockets of not just Democrats. It was Democrats and Republicans for a long time until the MAGA party emerged. For now, Democrats are acting like this is the end of the world on r/Illinois and subreddit. The subreddit. Trump says blue states will totally disappear off the map next year. Promises big, big surprise. Well, that's you, Illinois. I know I'm from there. Cool. So where are we going? The blue S of A? Is that it? He's going to get a red Sharpie and color all the blue states with it. Haha. Imagine the outrage if a Democrat talked about red states disappearing. Dude, you guys are so silly. This is why nobody picked this story up, really. On the right, at least. We'll see if anyone actually cares on the right. They're going to be like, yeah, we don't care. Trump's basically just saying the blue states where Democrats largely win congressional seats, they're going to be moving Republican because Trump's polling is good. He's doing well. And they're apoplectic. You know, it's tough. There's a lot of people who like what Trump is doing, and so they're kind of disengaged. They got nothing to watch and nothing to worry about, right? And for the people who hate Donald Trump, they have everything but to do. They must watch these podcasts. They must watch these news programs where they say Trump is destroying the world. Literally nothing's happened. Firing federal workers. It's remarkable to me. People are like, the federal workers getting fired. It's the end of the world. I'm like, you don't even know what they do. You don't even know what their jobs are. So let's chill out, see what happens. But this is a move that has to happen. The idea that the government, the public sector would just operate indefinitely without any kind of turnover or reconciliation or reform is insane. I'll leave it there, my friends. We got more segments coming up today. So thanks for hanging out, and we will see you all in the next segment.